Keeping up with the news is a lot like working the land. It's all go, all the time. Nature waits for no one. Farmlands is here to help this with expert advice, reliable products and timely supply.
This is CountryWide CONNECT News with Farmlands. Good afternoon, I'm Richard Badley. New Zealand's greenhouse gas emissions fell slightly in 2024, dropping 0.1% on the previous year, according to the latest greenhouse gas inventory. Once forests and carbon sinks are factored in, net emissions fell 2% to 55 million tonnes of CO2 equivalent, continuing a trend that has seen net emissions drop 15% since peaking in 2006. Agricultural emissions, which made up more than half of New Zealand's total, decreased slightly by 0.3%, largely driven by falling sheep numbers. However, emissions from cattle rose by 200,000 tonnes as dairy cows produced more milk. Energy emissions increased after low hydro lake levels forced greater fossil fuel use to generate electricity. Ministry for the Environment Chief Science Advisor Alison Collins says the inventory helps identify where pressure on the atmosphere is increasing and where effort needs to be focused. Greenpeace is using the same inventory data to call for an end to dairy industry expansion, pointing out that while overall agricultural emissions edged down, emissions from intensive dairy farming specifically increased in 2024. Climate campaigner Sinead Dayton-O'Flynn says intensive dairy accounts for 26% of all agricultural emissions, more than any other single industry, and that growth is equivalent to adding 100,000 cars to New Zealand roads for a full year. Greenpeace is calling on Fonterra to reduce herd size rather than expand, warning that Canterbury alone is set to add 30,000 cows following recent government policy changes. Fonterra and Dairy NZ have not yet responded publicly to the claims. Farmers and land managers across the country have until the end of today to enter or nominate someone for the Growing Native Forest Champions Awards, which celebrate those planting and restoring native forests. The awards, run by the Ministry for Primary Industries, cover 6 categories, including trees on farms, lifestyle blocks, large-scale restoration projects, forestry companies, mana whenua, and catchment or community groups. Nominations can be submitted at mpi.govt.nz, with the winners announced at National Field Days in Hamilton in June. And that's the latest news.
Nature waits for no one. Farmlands is here to help this with expert advice, reliable products and timely supply. Shop offers in store, online, Farmlands Pro, or with your rep.